one night that we live tonight. Let's ride till we're out of sight. So far, so they never fade down our halo.
What is going on, dudes? My name is Coach again, Nidokings, and today we have a week 4 IBL match team prep versus Thomas and the LA Elgyems. So we did play him during the IBL. I don't remember what if we won or lost and whatnot, or what week it was even. But I'm going to be going over the team that I built for his, so first let's go over his team. He's got Victini, Skarmory, Goodra, Florges, Beware, Nidoking, Electros, Toxapex, Braviary, Pawniard, and Dusclops. So, he's got a team of a lot of threats, but one thing you may notice is that it's incredibly slow. Victini is his fastest Pokemon at base 100, which obviously is not slow, but nothing outspeeds that, which is really, really good on my part, because then I actually have many Pokemon who outspeed. Brainchild, Kitty, and Camilla are faster than everything but that Victini. Victini does one-shot a fair good amount of them, but at the same time, they can take on Victini extremely well, and especially with Mew. So I'm going to be going over the team that I built for his, and you can probably already tell some of the mons I brought just because of what I said. So, starting off once again, as I've started off the past 3 weeks, we have Hazel the Mew. With the Mew Z, with Psychic, Earth Power, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. So, overall, Earth ground type works really well against his entire team, because he's only got Braviary, Electros, and Skarmory, which avoid the ground type moves, and this thing can also counter the Skarmory with Thunderbolt, and Toxapex with Thunderbolt. Psychic hits Toxapex incredibly hard. I forgot, never mind, I was saying Earth Power, but Earth Power hits Nidoking. Electros doesn't want to take a Psychic. With Assault Vest it'll take it fairly decently, but Electros cannot do that much to Mew, which is really, really, really good. So I'm running a typical set with max special attack, max speed, timid nature 4, and special defense. And mainly special defense is because this thing is going to be going up against the Electros more often than not, I would think. Because Victini doesn't want to take an Earth Power from it, so, you know. An Ice Beam just obviously hits many things on his team. Hits Goodra. Goodra is the main reason I brought Ice Beam, because otherwise Goodra can really sit in against Hazel, which isn't a very good thing. So, if anything, I'd want to get off the Medium Z on the Goodra. That would be amazing, because that would do be the most productive that I could do, because nothing really otherwise wants to take this thing on. Or Electros. It could be very good against Electros too. But anyways, that is Mew. So next up we have another familiar face, Kate Upton, who's, I think, come to the past couple weeks as well. Anyways, we're going with a typical set, Leftovers, Marvel Scale, Scald, Ice Beam, Recover, and Mirror Coat. Mainly I'm running Mirror Coat. If he ends up bringing Special Victini, and I'm pretty sure I could live whatever hit Victini wants to throw at me, even a Bolt Strike, unless he specs. I'm not sure if I'll be able to live that, but Mirror Coat will just hit some good damage on anything that wants to stay in, especially because Nidoking and Electros are mainly special attackers, so, and those are some of his biggest hitters, and Goodra as well, so pretty cool stuff. Scald, once again, Scald works against his entire team. Let's see, last I checked, he's only got 2 resistances, being that Goodra and the Toxapex, so water is very good against his entire team, which is very, very, very nice, which I'm not bringing a specific water type, my Empoleon, this week, I'm gonna just say that. Ice Beam mainly is for that Goodra. It doesn't really hit Toxapex too well, but at the same time, I'm not going to be leaving Kate Upton against Toxapex. If it's a stall war, I believe I could win out, because I would do more damage than the Toxapex, but you never know. Recover is so I can keep my viability longer, because obviously Electros and Victini will do quite a bit of damage to this guy, but I'm running lefty, so that should give me a nice HP boost, and we're running Marvel Scale. And Casey's running something that I don't really know what status move he'd be running, but just in case like Toxapex wants to go for Toxic or something like that, that'd be pretty nice. And then Mirror Coat, as I already explained. So we're going with the same set I did last time, max physical defense, max HP, with 4 in special attacks. This thing is obviously my physical wall. I mean, in retrospect, his biggest physical threat is probably Beware outside of Victini. I don't think Victini has an electric-type move to use against Kate Upton, which could be very nice. I think, is Bolt Strike special? I should actually double-check that right now. Okay, Bolt Strike is actually physical. That's why. It doesn't really I mean, maybe Victini can learn Thunderbolt, but whatever. If he ends up bringing Physical Victini, which is, in my mind, most likely, Kate should be able to take a Bolt Strike with this max Physical Defense. Especially if a status, so obviously max Physical Defense, max HP, Bold Nature, 4 and Special Attack, just to boost my water type moves a little bit, so pretty cool stuff. Next up we have Brainchild the Uxie, holding leftovers, so this thing can be kind of bulky with Thunder Punch, Zen Headbutt, Stealth Rocks, and Knockoff. So this thing is different than I've run it this season. I decided to run this thing to be a physical sweeper because nothing really threatens Brainchild, if I had to be completely honest, because of how bulky the Uxie is in general. He doesn't have anything that's super scary for Brainchild. His only dark type is Poniard, but Poniard does not want to take it. Well, I mean, Poniard will take a hit probably from Brainchild pretty nicely, but why would it want to? I mean, to be honest, he has no psychic types except for Victini. I have Thunder Punch for Skarmory, and I have Rock so I can get some chip damage especially, and if I can get some damage in like that Braviary that comes in, Victini will be the main reason for Rocks, because Victini is... besides Braviary is the only thing that takes 25%, so that'd be really nice. And then Knockoff, because it's super effective against Victini, hits Skarmory for neutral, hits everything for neutral actually, except for Florges and Poniard, so that works out very nicely for me. Zen Headbutt, just because it's a good stab move. Psychic, because I decided to run fully physical. I was going to run Psychic over Zen Headbutt, and I'm like, it's probably a better idea to run Zen Headbutt, specifically for the reason that I already had Thunder Punch and Knockoff. Why run Psychic and have to spread out my EVs even more? So this thing's got a pretty good physical moveset anyway, so that's why I love a Uxie. The Uxie's a lot like Mew. It's like I guess the way you can explain as a poor man's Mew. I love it. I love Uxie so much. Anyways, we're rocking max physical attack, max HP, adamant nature, and 4 special defense. The 4 and special defense is probably so I can sit this thing in against maybe Special Victini or Nidoking or Eelektross. So that'll be pretty nice here for our Uxie, and yeah, so pretty much that's what I'm doing for Brainchild. You know, I love Brainchild, it's a great Pokemon. Next up we have Kitty the Electivire with a Rocky Helmet with Motor Drive, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Protect. So I mentioned earlier that I didn't need a Scarf because his only Pokemon that outsped Electivire was that Victini, and I did some calculating. The next fastest Pokemon he has is base like 80 or 85, and I don't think Nidoking with a speed boosting nature actually outspeeds. I did check Braviary, but then I forgot. I think Nidoking's a little faster. Okay, actually, that's unfortunate because I did not realize that Nidoking outspeeds Kitty by 3 points. I just figured the 10 points difference would be enough to outspeed it, so yeesh, that could be pretty bad. I should have double checked that the EVs that I put on were useful. Okay, I got lucky with Venusaur. Alright, so that works out. Does defense boost at level 50? Yeah, it does. Alright, the way EVs work is 4 EVs equal 1 extra point at level 100, so it's kind of different at level 50, so I decided to build to level 50 this week, but luckily, it turned out okay for the 2 Pokemon I accidentally left at level 100, but it's all good. Anyways, we're going Earthquake, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Protect. The main reason I'm bringing Protect, rather than another attacking move, is mainly so I can see what Eelektross is going to do. Or not Eelektross, Nidoking is going to do it. Eelektross is right below Nidoking. If I can see what it's going to do, and maybe it's going to go for Earth Power or something like that, I can swap in a Brainchild, because really Nidoking can't do too much to Brainchild. I was thinking about running Volt Switch, but I ended up putting Protect on it. We're running a full physical moveset, Earthquake, because, as I said, ground hits his entire team very hard, and the only 3 that are unaffected, 2 of them are Thunder Punch works good against, and then Fire Punch is decent against Eelektross, but Eelektross can't do too much to Electivire, so that's also very nice, but Flamethrower is probably its best move against me. Rocky Helmet is mainly for physical attackers, so if I need to, for some reason, sack up a Pokemon, Kitty would probably be the best one to get rid of, just because it's my weakest defensively on the entire team, so I could just send this thing in. Even with the 4 in defense, 88's not going to be enough to take a V-Create. I looked it up, and there's no way that I could live a Life Orb. Actually, I can't live a V-Create in general. I looked it up because even without the Life Orb or Choice Band, V-Create just obliterates Kitty. Does like 101% min. So it's a little unfortunate when it comes to that, so Kitty will definitely be what I sack off to Victini if something needs to be sacked off. How much does it take? It takes 1/6. Okay, so it takes 1/6 from the Rocky Helmet damage, which is not bad at all. Get that 1/6 out of there, just in case an attack from something else, maybe like Scald from Kate Upton doesn't kill, and that would be enough damage to kill it. I mean, it'll help to have Rocks up too, so there's always that. So we're rocking a max physical attack, max speed set, Adamant Nature with 4 in defense. Should have run Jolly, should have done the calcs, because what I could have done is I could have run a little bit less in speed with the Jolly Nature to make sure I outsped Nidoking, and then put that little bit left in maybe defense, even though it wouldn't matter because I can't live anything from that Victini. Nothing else really wants to be in against Kitty. I wish I was kind of running Ice Punch for Goodra, but Earthquake will hit that thing decently enough because it's not super bulky on the physical side. Anyways, yeah, that's Kitty. So next up, I also mentioned this Pokemon didn't need a Scarf, and that's Camilla. Camilla just runs house. Dragon Dance Camilla. So I decided to run, I think it's the exact same set I ran last week. Max physical attack, max speed. I ran Adamant because this thing is a little bit faster. Actually, funny enough, it still doesn't outspeed Nidoking. Damn. Well, that's a fail on my part. I should have counted that. Alright, well, we gotta hope that he is not max speed. Maybe he'll be a more bulky variant. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, so not very good on my part. That's bad, not good thinking on my part. But if I get a Dragon Dance, I'll outspeed everything on his team. So there's always that. We're doing Life Orb because I don't want to choice myself on anything because I don't need to. I was debating on using a Choice Band instead of the Life Orb, but I decided that if I can get some Dragon Dances up, that'd be really nice. If I were to end up running Jolly on this thing, then it would have been okay. But we're going Earthquake, as I said. Ground works really well against his entire team, except for those couple Pokemon. Outrage obliterates his entire team. He's only got Florges. That's the only thing that is immune to it. He's got 1 resistance in Skarmory and Ponyard, technically. But yeah, and obviously, I mentioned this whenever I brought Outrage the last time against a Fairy type. It was against Deneki, that when you use Outrage and a Fairy type is sent in, or you use it on a Fairy type, it cancels the Outrage right there and it doesn't continue it, which is really nice. So that'll allow me to switch if he ends up sending in the Florges. I could also go for Poison Jab, because I'm not sure if a normal Florges could just one-shot Camilla, especially with that 4 in special defense, just because of the Moonblast, but you never know. And then, yeah, Poison Jab is the mainly, I think it's the only thing it can be used against, really, is the Florges. It doesn't do too much to anything else. So, max physical attack, max speed, Adamant Nature, 4 in special defense, and it sucks. So, Nidoking outspeeds by 1 point. So, that sucks. Maybe he'll be running a hidden power that ends up having it to be at 30, which would, I don't know, which would drop it 1. But hopefully that won't screw me up in the match. And finally, we have Pudge the Venusaur, rocking a Soul Vest again with Earthquake, Giga Drain, Knock Up, and Sludge Bomb. So this thing is just meant to be an all-out attacker because it works well against his entire team, except for Victini. That's about the biggest counter to it. I suppose technically Skarmory too, but if I'm able to get rid of whatever item Skarmory has, then that'll be good enough for me. Because Skarmory cannot one-shot Pudge. Giga Drain just hits well against his entire team. Let's see, his resistances are Braviary, Ponyard, Victini, and Skarmory's, and Goodra technically, but Sludge Bomb hits every one of those except for Ponyard and Skarmory, and then Earthquake hits Ponyard, and then Knockout will be for Skarmory. So Skarmory's really the only counter to Venusaur that he has on his team currently, but you know, that's all good. We have 220 in special attack, so I can do more damage with Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain. Max HP, so I can be bulky. 36 in attack that boosts Knockoff and Earthquake just by a little more. We're going with Quiet this week. If I'm being honest, most of his team is base 80 speed. Nidoking and Victini are the only things that aren't. So, well, are the only things that are higher than that, I should say. So, you know, pretty cool stuff. I do regret not calcing the Nidoking speed. I remember saying it was 85, and I thought that I would be just fine, and I forgot completely to calc against Nidoking. So hopefully my mascot does not kick my ass this week. So anyways, that's the team I am bringing for Thomas and the LA Elgyems. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, appreciate it. In the description, I don't believe he has a channel, but you'll find the link to the IBL Twitter, and I'll probably leave a link to the previous battle that we had back in the IBLAL. So, pretty cool stuff. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you did, appreciate it. Let's go Nidokings.